As I said, the limitation is that you've got glycol that's in this collector at all times. Incentives were pretty much talked about. TEP, all the utilities, most of the utilities locally have a rebate. The federal government gives a 30% rebate on systems. It's recently been uncapped. State government has a 25% tax credit capped at $1,000, and then there's the permit fee waiver that Bruce mentioned. And incentives, I won't cost incentives. I won't cover these costs. They're a little bit different from the ones Mark showed, but he covered them. I will add that if you add in a permit fee waiver, if you're doing a solar hot water system as part of a remodel or a new construction, you've got an additional savings there. And if you have to replace another water heater, or if you had the cost of a water heater you're going to put in new construction, you can effectively deduct out that cost. Just to give you a sense of the return on investment, solar hot water heating has just a phenomenal return on investment. I don't install systems to save people money. I install them because I'm an environmentalist, but both photovoltaics at this point and solar hot water, especially solar hot water, is a perfectly sound financial decision. If you're looking at paying $1,800 for a solar hot water heater and saving in the $10 to $30 a month range, you're going to have a return on investment in the 13 to 18% range. If you can capitalize on all these tax credits, you could be up above 20% return on investment. That's hard to beat. This is an old batch water heater. This is the copper heart. You see a lot of these. They're very simple, but they don't give you hot water in the morning. This is a drain back system. You can see that it's mounted on a slight angle to the roof. That's to create the slope. And then here's a typical glycol-based system where your pipes are running up a roof, and you can't do a drain back system. So I would just, well, thank you all for your interest in solar. And I often talk to people, and the words preaching to the choir comes up. Everybody's here because you've got an interest in solar, and I really feel like it's those of you who have the interest to get up and come here to see this stuff, that it's upon you to step forward and implement this stuff in your own lives, so that other people, the impact that I've seen of people implementing, and then your friends, neighbors, people who drive by your house, recognizing the value and getting on board with solar, that's really how I've seen this industry develop, and I would encourage you all to see how you can get involved and implement it in your own lives. Thank you.
Okay, questions. Let me say two things before we do questions. One is we have a really big group and a short time for questions before the next workshop starts. So I want to definitely encourage you to take advantage of the fact that we've got multiple solar installers with booths here at the EXPO that you can go talk to in depth and ask questions and see things. Secondly, for those of you that haven't had a chance to hear about it, the Green Pueblo map is a new project that's being undertaken by Pima County, City of Tucson, and Interconnection. One of the things on that map will be to try to show, so you'll be able to see more solar. And also at our booth, we have a solar driving tour, which highlights some solar installations around town if you want to see that. Okay, questions. Let's take what we can. Let's take the lady in the pink there.
I have two questions that kind of relate. One is, what is the cost of the system over its life? How long does it last? And then once you have it in, what kind of costs can I expect over the life of the system?
And are you talking about photovoltaic or hot water or both?
Yes.
Photovoltaic.
Both.
Okay. Let's start with Catherine on the photovoltaic.
Most photovoltaic panels have a 25-year warranty. Inverters are covered for 10. And so as a result, you may realistically have to look at replacing an inverter or upgrading an inverter before the system pays itself off, if we don't see contingent big price increases for utilities. So hot water systems generally, if you don't mind, Kevin, I'm up here. 10-year warranty on the panels. Tanks are 7 years, but because they don't operate as water heaters traditionally, we see that the solar tanks last for a long time. So I guess the bottom line is, the equipment is designed to last a lot longer than it takes you to pay it off.
Great. I'll try to go back and forth so other parts of the room get questions. Yes, ma'am.
How do these panels, how much do they attract light?
How much do they attract? How much do panels attract lightning? Lightning. Okay. We have a lightning problem with panels.
Yes. They don't particularly attract lightning anymore. I mean, they're typically have a metal frame. So anything that's going to be up on a hill, I have had one system hit by lightning. It was on a hill and a tracker, and it got hit by lightning. The modules survived. They're still operating today. The inverter did not, and we replaced the inverter under the homeowner's insurance policy. Typically, most homes in Tucson, it's not a major concern. The Pennington Street garage, located just north of here, has a large photovoltaic system that's got significant exposure, and it has a lightning protection system on it. So it's not a major worry for residential systems.
Yes, ma'am.